1,000 people on 3,800 flights every day. American Airlines knows why you fly.
I'll take my chance, 'cause nothing on my side of something.
Penalty-free licensing for all pets. It's the real deal. The Humane Society providing a chance to obey the law before a new ordinance goes into effect. The details first at 4.
It's been a dreary Friday afternoon with more wet weather for the weekend. All the details coming up next.
With live, local, breaking news where you live. This is Channel 6 First News, live at 4.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Mastre, happening locally first at 4 on this Friday. It's not too late to become a responsible pet owner. If you live in Omaha, you have until the end of the month to license your dog or cat and not only avoid that late fee, but also avoid possibly losing custody of the pets. Backpack journalist Jeff Sabin continues our coverage.
Where's your ball? Get your ball, hurry up.
Gina Potsai doesn't know what she would do without her 2 dogs and 3 cats.
They run around and they jump on me and they're just, they're really glad to see me.
She does what she can to keep them safe and healthy. Annual trips to the vet, proper vaccinations, good food, lots of love, and licenses. Both Molly and Mickey, as well as the cats, are licensed and microchipped.
It is important to me because it just means, you're responsible for these dogs and cats.
Next Tuesday, here at the Legislative Chambers, the Omaha City Council will consider a proposed ordinance that would allow the Nebraska Humane Society to take pets away from irresponsible owners for up to 2 years.
They're going to be ordinances that will affect pet owners that don't follow the rules. And so if you are someone who has multiple violations, you may lose your pets.
If you haven't licensed your dog or cat, that could be your first violation. Under the proposed ordinance, 3 violations in a 2-year period could cost you your pets. The Humane Society doesn't want that to happen, so they're waiving the $50 late fee if you get your dog or cat licensed before the end of September.
It's a really easy thing to do, and there's no penalty right now to do it, so there's no reason not to do it.
A neutered or spayed cat will cost you $12. A dog that's been fixed will cost $15. Any dog or cat that hasn't been spayed or neutered costs $30 to license.
Molly, come here.
Molly and Mickey may not always listen, but they know they have an owner that takes good care of them.
Oh, they mean a lot to me. They really do. I mean, without them, life would be really dull.
Jeff Sabin, Channel 6 News.
So there are 3 ways to license your pet. You can do it on the Humane Society's website with the notice that was mailed out in March. You can also download a form off the website, fill it out, and mail it in with your payment, or just take care of it in person at the Humane Society. Well, another big night of high school football on tap, but it's been a soggy afternoon. Will that carry over into the evening? Here's meteorologist Caitlin Roth with your hour-by-hour forecast. Sorry, my mind went blank.
Oh, that's
Nothing
okay.
personal.
It's all that rain out there in the clouds. It's clouding your brain. And it certainly has made for a very cool and dreary day out there. Big difference in the weather from where we were just 1 week ago. Last Friday night was hot, nearly 90 degrees with some sunshine. Here's the system we're doing with on our latest satellite run, and the radar maybe giving you a better indication of what's out there. Now, most of the rain has been staying north of the metro. As we take a look in towards the Omaha area, you can see not even much rain here in Douglas County, but up northwards of us, some heavier bands north of Tacoma and even east of us that are actually starting to fall apart out towards Atlantic and Audubon. But eastbound on I-80 is going to be a soggy Friday evening commute for you. The rest of us, though, we are just going to be dealing with some intermittent showers out there. Now, we got to 64 for our high earlier today, but we are already starting to fall as those clouds and rain come on through. Just 58 here in Omaha as we speak, and that's what we'll see right around 6 p.m. So if you are headed out to any high school football games, bring the layers. The rain gear might not be as necessary because those showers will start to taper off as we get closer towards 8, and then finally 10 o'clock p.m. we'll see some clearing. But it feels very chilly out there when you finally start to cool down after you've been so accustomed to the heat. It's a big shocker, so we'll need some jackets out there.
All right, and it's Caitlin, right?
Yes,
right.
Thank you, Brian.
Sorry about that. More news now. Just before news time, Omaha police tell Channel 6 News that they're investigating a homicide. Around 9:45 last night, a man was found unresponsive in an apartment at 31st in Chicago. He was pronounced dead at the scene. didn't seem especially suspicious, but the victim has been identified as Brent St. John of Omaha. Other details in the case are not yet being released at this time, but it is a homicide investigation. More news from the courts. A former priest who exposed himself in public will serve more time for violating that probation. Daniel Herrick was sentenced to 6 more months in jail. Herrick was given credit for the 61 days he had already served. Well, days after a body is found in the Missouri River, investigators identify it. Cass County Sheriff's Office says the man is 30-year-old Freddie Gonzalez of Omaha. Relatives had last spoken to him August 24th. Fishermen found the body near Plattsmouth on Sunday. Investigators say Gonzalez drowned, but no foul play is suspected. Well, a little bit of Omaha and Council Bluffs may start spreading to other cities, and we may see some of Kansas City, Des Moines, Minneapolis, and Wichita in our neighborhoods. Here's why. Representatives from all those cities wrapped up a 2-day neighborhood summit in Omaha. They took in lunch at Miller's Landing in front of the new pedestrian bridge with the hope of learning from each other when it comes to all sorts of topics, especially green neighborhoods. The housing problems across the country came up too.
And because of the foreclosure crisis, they're wondering how do we take care of the environment and how do we take care of the homes that we currently have and if they're empty and vacant lots and so forth. So they're really wanting to know how we're taking care of things like that.
This is the 5th summit hosted by Bank of the West. Next year's will be held in one of the other cities. The presidential candidates and their running mates are back in business, back on the campaign trail after each party's national convention. They have just 60 days left to sway the undecideds. As we continue our Decision 2008 coverage, Tracy Potts with how each will try to win those votes.
Terrific. I'm learning about glass here.
And he's learning for the first time, along with the rest of America, that the nation's jobless rate has hit a 5-year high. It's 6.1%. 84,000 jobs were lost last month, many of them at manufacturing plants like this one.
We can create 5 million new jobs in solar, wind, biodiesel, hydro, geothermal. All those jobs are well-paying jobs, and they can't be outsourced.
The Democrats are going after the working class in swing states like Pennsylvania.
The silence of the Republican Party was deafening. It was deafening on jobs, on health care, on environment, on all the things that matter to the people in the neighborhoods I grew up in.
Today, the jobs report is another reminder. These are tough times. They're tough times in Wisconsin. They're tough times in Ohio. They're tough times all over America.
John McCain, fresh off his acceptance speech last night, joined running mate Sarah Palin today in Wisconsin. Calling themselves reformers, both are using their personal stories to win voters on issues like Iraq.
As the mother of one of those troops, that's exactly the kind of man I want as commander-in-chief.
The candidates are back on the stump talking about oil, taxes, war, and each other.
We will drill offshore, and we will drill now.
Suddenly, I'm in favor of energy independence. Where have you been for 26 years?
Politics away from the big stage and back on the road. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Well, 3 crashes on Nebraska roads, 3 young people killed this week. Tuesday, the Nebraska State Patrol says 20-year-old Nayar Gutierrez died in a rollover crash near Grand Island. Wednesday, 17-year-old Kimberly Fisher of Hastings died in a rollover crash near Odessa. And Thursday, 19-year-old Wade Loberg died in a rollover crash on a county road near his home of Wisner. In all 3 cases, the victims were not wearing seat belts and died when they were ejected from their vehicles. Joining us to talk about the importance of seat belts, Captain Tom Schwarten of the Nebraska State Patrol. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Brian.
So 3 victims, all of it in common, rollovers, no seat belts, and it killed them. What more can be done? It seems like we've been kind of talking about this for years now.
The issue keeps coming up because this is one of those variables that we can control. It's just like driving while impaired. We can stop people from driving while impaired if they choose not to drink and drive. We can do the same by making the conscious decision for people to buckle up when they get in vehicles. Adults need to set that good example for the young people that are in the vehicles. And this goes for anybody in cars and trucks. Everybody should be buckled up.
And I know these were all younger people. I know sometimes you feel a little more invincible at that age. What types of things are you doing to maybe reach them in a different way?
All across the state, the Nebraska State Patrol has taken a very proactive approach to issues relative to buckling up. And a lot of these events coincide with football games and the football season at the local high schools that have just kicked off. And also out in Dawson County, there's going to be a fun run this weekend in memory of somebody who lost their life in a rollover crash, a young person out there. So we've teamed up with the different schools and the different events that are around the state to bring our rollover simulator to those sporting events to show people just how important it is to buckle up and how important it is to stay inside a vehicle when a person gets the chance and happens to be involved in a crash.
I know you were at, Millard West, Lincoln Southeast last night. Tonight you're in Valley. What do the kids take away when they finally see this? And when I've seen it, you have a dummy that's in the car, and you clearly see how far they get thrown.
I think the biggest issue that comes about is the young people are very surprised at the violence that the dummy that comes out of the vehicle during the rollovers, what that looks like, and they don't understand prior to seeing that just how dangerous it is to be partially outside of a vehicle during a rollover or be thrown from the vehicle and have that vehicle roll on top of them. It's a very, very eye-opening experience for them to see just how much force is involved, and that's only a 35 or 30 mile per hour crash. A lot of vehicles are driving a lot faster on the roadways, and as we've seen this week, they've been on county roads, they've been on state highways, and all of them have been unrestrained drivers that are involved in a rollover crash.
Certainly an eye-opener. So the rollover vehicle will be in Valley tonight. And you're going to try to, it's early in the football season, I suspect you're probably going to try to hit a lot of different places over the next few weeks.
As part of a grant through the Nebraska Office of Highway Safety, we have teamed up with them, and it has allowed us to bring officers in to conduct these demonstrations at many games throughout the football season. And we want to get into all counties in the metropolitan area to the different games to reach out to as many of those young people as we can, and adults for that matter, so that they understand it's just as important for them to set that example.
I hope it works. Captain Tom Schwarten, thank you so much for coming in today. Still ahead, another storm is brewing and headed for the U.S. coastline. And later on, a giant spider. What is this all about? You're going to have to wait in Hot Shots to hear about it.
With live, local, breaking news where you live, with Brian Mastre, and your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Caitlin Roth. This is Channel 6 First News, live at 4.
You still looking for a car? I'm choosy. I need something reliable. Go to CarMax.com. They've got thousands of cars, all inspected and guaranteed with multiple pictures. And you can even get a free vehicle history report. What would we do without the internet? I don't know, our work?
CarMax, the way car buying should be.
Gas prices go up, and these guys benefit. Nebraska families deserve better. That's why I took on the special interest to pass bipartisan legislation to lower the price of gas and make America energy independent. Here's my plan. More drilling and exploration here in America, renewable energies, and incentives for conservation. I'm Lee Terry, and I approve this message because when Congress fails to act, they win, we lose, and that's what we're changing.
I take so many medications.
I knew she needed a customized plan.
My pharmacist sat down with me and we
Created a schedule that was convenient for her.
and approved by my doctor.
I understand each of my customers' needs.
I like service that's personal.
That's my pharmacy.
That's my pharmacy.
That's Medicap Pharmacy.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Well, rain has been in short supply, but certainly much needed, not only for crops, our yards, just kind of generally clear the air, and we're getting a little of that today.
You're right. Sweep out all the allergens, too. I don't know about you. My allergies were very bad when it was warm outside, but now things are really starting to improve. However, it has made for a very dreary Friday out there. Hard to get you excited about the weekend when the weather just makes you want to stay inside and take a nap. But we will start to clear out into the overnight hours tonight. Not going to be seeing much more rain, but another round of showers on tap for Saturday night. The good news is Saturday morning morning and afternoons looking okay down towards Lincoln. And we are stuck in this cloudy and cool pattern as we head into next week. Here's our radar loop of the metro area going back just the past couple of hours. Primarily, this rain shield has stayed off towards our north, and this is just some light showers. We saw some drizzle move through, about an hour or so ago, and we will continue to see some light bands of rain move through Douglas County. But for the most part, this is staying towards our north and will start to clear out as we go through the rest of the evening. Temperatures have fallen in the wake of this wet weather. 58 in Omaha, 61 in Fremont. A little bit warmer down towards our south, 64 in Shenandoah, and 67 there in Falls City. Regionally, there's nothing warm about this pattern across much of the Central Plains. 67 in Des Moines, 68 in Minneapolis. None of us even surpassing 70 degrees, only 70 in Kansas City, so unusually cool. All of us well below average with our daytime highs. And a better look at the system that we're dealing with is this trough that came through and kind of split our rain. There's that chunk north of us, and there is some south of Kansas City, also bringing some wet weather for the weekend. Now, as we do prepare for the weekend, from Friday night on, we clear out. But here's our second round of precipitation by 11 a.m., 11:30 kickoff tomorrow morning. We are going to be okay. The game looks dry until we get to the very end. If you're hanging around the stadium and doing some tailgating, some rain will start to move off towards our north. Better chance as we head into the evening and overnight into Sunday for some rain to move here through Omaha. By Sunday, though, not turning out half bad. A lot of that clearing out of the area, and we can count on Sunday to be bringing just some clouds. Now, if you want a better look at this, our stormcaster is bringing that rain out of our area by 10 o'clock into midnight tonight. Temperatures falling back to 54 in Omaha, much cooler off towards our north there. Temperatures only in the 40s. Clear skies as you wake up here on Saturday. Heading out early morning on 80. You'll be all right as you head towards Memorial Stadium. It will be cold, though, so do not forget all of the layers out there. 58 right around 6 o'clock with some light winds and some showers, but again, clearing out as we head towards 10 p.m. Just 55 there. Into the weekend, we're looking at 72 with some clouds and late p.m. showers on Saturday. Sunday, kind of the same thing. Morning showers, but afternoon clearing. And then Monday brings even cooler weather. So kind of one of those weekends you almost just want to stay inside, watch a movie, catch up on some reading, maybe not get out of bed. I don't know, take some naps.
I know, I felt like that today.
I know, hard to get up in the morning.
Everybody ended up here, though, didn't they? Thanks, Caitlin. Well, markets added another session to the plus column after a seesaw session and a volatile week of trading. Deborah Costrin takes a look in our Bloomberg Market Wrap.
After a rocky session, stocks managed to finish higher. At the close, the Dow at 32, the S&P at 5, but the Nasdaq down 3. A big reason stocks struggled earlier was today's jobs report. The U.S. lost more jobs than forecast in August, and the unemployment rate climbed to a 5-year high of 6.1%. The surprise loss is a sign of further weakness in the economy. And Dell wants to streamline its business. Dell may sell its manufacturing plants worldwide and could sign on contract computer manufacturers. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. This would mean a shift from Dell's strategy of making its own products to one where outsiders will build all its computers, and that's according to the Journal. Finally, a big day for SanDisk. The top maker of memory cards used in digital cameras surged the most in 8 years after Samsung Electronics said it may buy the company. A takeover would help Samsung widen its lead over Toshiba. That's business at the New York Stock Exchange. I'm Deborah Costrin with the Bloomberg After the Bell report.
Still to come, the mother of a missing Florida girl is out of jail again. That story next, more news. And another major storm takes aim at the U.S. coastline. That's just ahead on the Channel 6 News, live at 4.
Welcome to the deciding game in this year's college championship.
The tension is rising. Come on. The contestants are ready. Don't miss the conclusion of the Jeopardy College Championship.
Today at 4:30, only on Channel 6. Today at 5.
Meditation to fight cancer? There's a belief that the mind-body connection is just as important when it comes to fighting the disease. Plus, small vacuums are convenient for cleaning up small messes, but a few models may be dangerous.
Look at this, $50 for lunch. Oh, you guys are expensive. I paid $60 to fill my car.
A gallon of milk cost me almost $4.
Whatever happened to affordable pricing?
Well, I just saved $120.
How's that?
I ordered Cox digital telephone.
Oh, Oh, good. You can pick up the check.
Join your neighbors who have switched to Cox Digital Telephone. You could save up to $120 a year. Call 575-5304.
I have COPD, which makes it hard to breathe. But now that I'm breathing better with Advair, I can be my son's first mate.
For people with COPD, including chronic bronchitis, emphysema, or both, great news. Advair helps significantly improve lung function. While nothing can reverse COPD, Advair's different from other medications because it's the only product with an anti-inflammatory and a long-acting bronchodilator working together to help you breathe better. Advair won't replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be used more than twice a day. People with COPD taking Advair may have a higher chance of pneumonia. Advair may increase your risk of osteoporosis and some eye problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking Advair. Thanks, Dad.
I'm glad I could help. Ask your doctor how Advair helps improve lung function for better breathing.
Find out how to get your first full prescription free at advaircopd.com.
Less than a week after Hurricane Gustav hit the New Orleans area, people in the southeast are bracing for a dangerous tropical storm. Tropical storm Hannah is churning off the Carolina coast. Residents and tourists really rushing to stock up. They're closing up their places or just trying to get out of the way. The storm, packing 65-mile-per-hour winds, could damage areas along the coast. But the bigger danger is inland flooding from up to 10 inches of rain. People here are keeping an eye on yet another storm. Hurricane Ike, a Category 3 storm, is headed for the Bahamas and Florida. In Tennessee, busloads of people are headed back home to the Gulf Coast. They're going home to the New Orleans area to see for themselves the damage caused by Hurricane Gustav. In Florida, the mother of a missing girl is out of jail again. Casey Anthony, she's in the white shirt behind security there. She left jail this morning after posting $500,000 bond for the second time. She's charged with child abuse and lying to investigators. Her daughter, 3-year-old Kaylee, was reported missing in mid-July. Hadn't been seen since June. She's believed to be dead, but her body has not been found. A creepy crawly sure to make many of us squeamish. We'll check it out next in Hot Shots. And a fiery celebration. What is this all about? Find out when we come back. But first, a look at what's new on NBC tonight. Starting at 7, a special broadcast, Stand Up to Cancer. That will be followed at 8 by NBC's NFL Kickoff Show. At 9, Dateline NBC. Then join us for the Channel 6 News, 10 at 10.
Since I got in the loop, I'm into speed reading.
Since I got in the loop, my favorite number is 20.
Since I got in the loop, I'm known for my hustle.
Introducing new Quest Fiber Optic Fast Internet. The future of fast is here. Download TV shows in minutes and songs in seconds. I'm a quick study. Call 1-866-783-7853 now and choose the connection speed that flies best with you. Price is starting at just $14.99 a month.
I'm running circles around everyone else.
Just $14.99 a month and a 30-day guarantee let you test drive the thrills of fiber optic fast. No risk, no hassle, no reason not to try. Come on.
What are you waiting for?
Check it out.
Get in the loop.
It's 1-866-783-7853. Call, click, or come in to get in the loop with Quest.
Where no two cornfields are alike, choice is the key to success. Only one company and your Pioneer sales professional can call on one of the world's largest, most diverse sources of corn genetics to offer you more than 250 proprietary hybrids and the industry's broadest insect protection to get the right product on the right acre and maximize your yield potential. See your Pioneer sales professional.
Introducing BP gasoline with Invigorate. They have a unique formula that helps cars run younger for longer. New BP gasoline with Invigorate. All grades of new BP gasoline now have Invigorate. When used continuously, it can help clean and protect engines against harmful deposits, sludge, and corrosion. To help your car run younger for longer, try new BP gasoline with Invigorate.
First
first news, live at 4, continues with today's Hot Shots.
A spectacle in New Mexico Thursday night. People here sending their troubles up in smoke, literally. They burned a 50-foot effigy of Sosobra, or Old Man Doom, in Santa Fe. Every year, the town sets the puppet on fire as a symbol of letting go of their troubles. The celebration is part of Fiestas de Santa Fe, which has been held every year since 1712. To England now, and another spectacular sight. This huge creature is moving through the streets of Liverpool at up to 2 miles per hour. Uh-oh, it's a 60-foot wide giant mechanical spider weighing more than 22 tons. It was created by a French company. She's called La Princesse. It takes 12 people to operate her. It's billed as the largest piece of street theater ever staged in the UK. La Princesse is causing quite a stir. One driver crashed their car from not only the music, but trying to get a better look at her. When our live newscast continues, a check of developing stories, but first a look at what's coming up at 5:30 on the Nightly News.
From financial aid woes to the rising cost of school buses, are we leaving some of our students behind? Educating America, a report card. Our special series starts next week on NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Fridays this fall.
3 people chosen at random? Except nothing is random. And why is that? Because everything is connected.
Oh, here we go.
The show called Life returns.
Who are you people?
Detectives.
He said he'd done time. Trippy, huh?
Television's most fascinating detective.
It's not who they were, it's where they were.
Solving the most unusual cases.
He's
frozen solid. Maybe they can bring him back.
The show called Life returns Fridays this fall on NBC.
Keep your windshield clean and clear with a pair of new Weather Beater wiper blades from Menards. They're simple to install and come in 3 sizes. Stop in today and get Weather Beater wiper blades for just $6.97 each. Find these and other great deals throughout the store during Menard Day sales. From small weekend projects to complete remodels, find everything you need for the best price. Menards, dedicated to service and quality.
Save big money at Menards.
No such thing as too much performance, especially when it comes to high-yielding mycogen brand grain corn hybrids.
Channel 6 News continues with a look at some of the stories we're keeping an eye on for our next newscast live at 5. Jamie McCutcheon continues our coverage live from the newsroom. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Brian. How you doing? Good. It's something that we've heard a lot about. It's the Omaha Police Union contracts. Well, so far, negotiations have failed. We're going to look at the next step at 5. Also, a lot of folks heading down for the Husker game tomorrow, but they might find some of the worst traffic of the season. But we are going to have some tips for you coming up. And in health news, a look at what can increase your cancer risks and where you can find a whole lot more information about those risks and about cancer tonight. Brian, it's all coming up tonight, live at 5.
All right, we'll see you, Jamie, in a half hour. Let's check back with Caitlin in our hour-by-hour forecast. Some of the worst traffic for a Husker game tomorrow. Now combine that with the weather.
Exactly. The last thing you want is a ton of rain out there early Saturday morning. Luckily, it looks like we'll dodge a bullet with the rain and get it all out of the way by the time we clear out our Friday night. Conditions outside are going to be very dreary, though, as we transfer into Saturday. And speaking of game day, kickoff at 11:30 a.m. is going to be bringing us conditions of temperature right at 62 degrees. Mainly just cloudy, though. We are not going to be seeing much rain move in until later on into the afternoon. Hopefully, it'll be a win, and hopefully, you'll all stay warm out there because it is going to be a very chilly start to the day. We're talking about a low of 48 degrees. Now 58 right around 6 o'clock. Some of those showers starting to taper off, and we'll fall back to 56. That temperature not really changing too much as it is going to remain fairly overcast throughout the rest of the evening. 55 with some light winds. That's where we stand right at about 10 o'clock. Now transitioning into the weekend, we are looking at 72 both Saturday and Sunday. Best chance for rain Saturday night into Sunday. Some also have some heavier bands of rain out there, but then clear clearing out by the time we get into Sunday afternoon. Maybe even seeing a little bit of sunshine. Not a bad day out there. Monday, it's very cool with highs not even getting out of the 60s, just like today, with another dose of some wet weather. So cloudy and cool until we finally do rebound next week. We'll see some temperatures return to about 80 degrees there on Wednesday. But for the weekend, very different from where we were last weekend. We were so hot and there was a lot of sunshine out there. Everyone was dying at the game. Well, now it's going to be a little different.
Yeah, feast or famine, isn't
Yes.
it? And what was that? Was that music that I heard? It sounded like somebody was trying to start a car during your Husker graphic. Do we have that in queue again?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, there it is. It sounded like somebody was beating on a drum in the garage or something. Well, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Jeopardy is next. Have a good weekend.
Your news, your sports, your life. WOWT.com/newscast.
Fridays this fall.
3 people chosen at random?
Except nothing is random.
And why is that?
Because everything is connected.
Oh, here we go.
The show called Life returns.
Who are you people?
Detectives.
He said he'd done time.
Trippy, huh?
Television's most fascinating detective.
It's not who they were, it's where they were.
Solving the most unusual cases.
He's
frozen solid. Maybe they can bring him back.
The show called Life returns Fridays this fall on NBC.
Look at this, $50 for lunch. Oh, you guys are expensive. I paid $60 to fill my car.
A gallon of milk cost me almost $4.
Whatever happened to affordable pricing?
Well, I just saved $120.
How's that?
I ordered Cox Digital Telephone.
Oh, good. You can pick up the check.
Join your neighbors who have switched to Cox Digital Telephone. You could save up to $120 a year. Call 575-5304.
My pharmacy, they focus on my family's health.
It's not about shopping or long aisles. It's about healthcare products I need.
And a pharmacist who's easy to talk to.
It's the best pharmacy care. My customers trust me.
That's my pharmacy.
That's my pharmacy.